Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world. Hope you're having a good day or night or whatever it is. Or if you just woke up in the middle of the night just to watch this live stream, hey, that's pretty awesome. So, welcome back. It's been a little bit of time since we've had a live stream, and you guys know Tycho. She woke up just for this. Good morning, Pheng. Good morning, Felix. Danny. Hey, we don't need that
Good
volume.
morning.
What's going on? What's up? What's that in the background?
Oh,
This is too confusing. We gotta turn that volume off because it's getting a little bit there. Huh? No, it's okay. Sorry if we're disturbing you. So, welcome, guys. We have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fun stuff to share with you guys. Also, as you saw in the title, kind of a wrap up of what happened over the month of October. Most of you guys were with us through all of it, and we had a lot of interesting, fun things that we got to discuss and share, and learned quite a few things, physically, mentally, emotionally. And as we are, in the midst of the election, still trying to figure out what's going to happen there, that's also another factor of what's going to happen with us in the channel and the physical and emotional part of our well-being as well. So there's a lot of stuff that we want to talk about, but we're going to try and keep it under an hour as we usually do in these live streams. But like I said, we have some really real exciting news as well with some visitors that we have, some friends that we have in town, with the trapeze school, with our new car. So there's a lot of cool stuff that we want to talk about. And we're excited to hear some of your feedback in the comments too and in the chat. So feel free to leave any information or questions that you have in the chat, or if you're watching this on the replay, in the comments. We always want to hear from you guys too. So we'll wait for a few more people to stroll in here so we can get started. But like I said, good morning to everybody. I hope you guys are handling our election okay. If you live in America, how are you feeling about it? What is the sentiment that you guys are feeling in your states or with your jobs, and what's going to happen with you guys? And for you outside of the country, like Pheng, what is the international what's the international type of perception of the election? What are you guys in Australia? Are you guys rooting for Biden or Trump or Kanye? What is the sentiment out there? I'm curious how the perception is. I mean, I know how it was for years with having Trump in office, but obviously with the pandemic, things have changed, and the outlook on a lot of people's ideas of what they want for this country or what they want from coming to visit this country have also changed a lot, just because of what's happened over the last 8 months. So Pheng was asking, how is it possible? They still don't understand how the person with the most votes can lose. And that's the interesting thing about our democratic system and the way that the American democratic system is set up. And I won't get too much into politics, but just to kind of clarify this for any of you that aren't from America or don't know how our electoral system works. It's basically each state is assigned a certain amount of electoral votes. And this is based on population. And so based on the state, whoever wins the popular vote, which is the highest number of actual votes for that candidate, that state usually gets all of those electoral votes. So if you imagine each state gets a point system, the more people that state has, the more points they get. So if you are aiming to win the big states like California and New York and Texas, those are going to give you a higher point total towards the total points that you need to win the election. And in our election system, you need 270 points. So winning some of those big states is really critical, but there's a lot of states that aren't necessarily Democratic or Republican. Those are called the swing states. And those swing states have a huge effect on the election because they carry a substantial amount of those points in order to elect the president. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is where all the big states have really established who they are voting for, who they want for the president. But it's going to come down to some of those swing states where their 10 or 15 extra points is going to make the difference between who is the actual president when all is said and done. So I hope that kind of sheds a brief summary on what the electoral system in America is. And that's kind of what we're waiting on. Normally when there's a close race like this, especially a highly contested one, and then one that's been kind of feathered with a lot of potential potential suspicion of how it's going, then it's going to also cause a little bit more delay in what those final numbers actually look like, because they obviously want to get it right, because this is going to determine what happens for the next 4 years. But you also want it to be as diplomatic and or democratic as possible. So good morning, everybody else. We're starting to get some more people jump into the chat. Yeah, so again, Pheng, that's just kind of one of the weird things. Small states have too much power, in my opinion. Well, it's kind of both. I mean, every state has the amount of power relative to the amount of population, so they all have a fair share. And now the way that it's actually evened out is because our system of government has 3 branches, with the president, the Supreme Courts, and then the House of Congress. You have the House of Representatives and the Senate. Each state is equally represented with amount of senators. So every state gets 2 senators. So there's equal say in terms of that branch of the government. And so that kind of makes it balances out a little bit. So smaller states do have a little bit more, but they have a little bit more opportunity to have a voice as well in American politics. Good luck in the election of the outcome, USA. Thank you. Good morning, Keza. Good morning, Prep for It. Good to see you guys all here. Let's get started because, like I said, we have a lot of things to talk about, and I don't want to go over the 1 hour mark. I know you guys have other things to do, and so do we. We have a busy day as well ahead of us. We also have a lot of friends in town. We have some visitors here, and we want to be respectful because we're all sharing the house as well. So Danny said, Ryan for president. What do you think about that? You want to be the first lady?
Ooh. Yeah.
We get free rent. I like that idea. And we get a company car, right? Like they give us they give us drivers, and we get whatever. Yeah, I don't think I'll be a president. I don't think I have enough for it. But good morning, Vin. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you guys. So let's get into what we're talking about with the 30 days of vlogging and making videos. How did it go? What did we learn? How was it physically, emotionally? What's coming up next? All these fun topics we're going to talk about. Tycho, you have your microphone on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to check because a lot of times I don't hear you talking in the live chat. And
I'm always quiet.
But I'm sure when we start talking about the Tesla, you're going to jump in, huh? Maybe. Okay. So just to start off, the 30-day challenge for me to like make videos every day, I would say it was a success, although I am quite disappointed in myself that I didn't do a video every single day. It was one of the things that I set out to do, was like make a video every day, regardless of the situation, regardless of what was happening in our lives. But as it happened, there were so many things that came up, and I wanted to make quality videos aside from just putting out like a 50-second or 30-second video just to have something uploaded. You guys noticed I did a lot more live streaming during this time because that also gave me a chance to interact a little bit more, kind of get feedback directly from you guys, what you guys are interested, what's happening, as well as be able to make a video for the day. So the challenge for me, and like some of the things that I learned from it is, I learned that it's extremely difficult in the style of videos that I like to make for me to make this a daily thing. I learned that putting your effort and time towards something is really beneficial because it forced me to have a deadline. It forced me to not have an arbitrary, say, I want to make 3 videos a week. It forced me to, at 11 o'clock every day, have an upload. And so it really challenged me to not only get a video shot, conceptualized, shot, then home and edited, but also have it ready to upload exactly the way I wanted with a attractive thumbnail. And then also some of the description stuff in between. Not only that, but I was also a lot of the different topics I was trying to cross promote on the different platforms, like on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, because again, the idea was to try and grow a little bit more interest around the channel and around what we're doing. So it wasn't just shooting a video, popping it on YouTube and being done with it. That would be a really easy concept. But for me, it was a little more challenging, I guess, in the way that it, the way that I create my videos, and as well, like I had a list of ideas and topics that I wanted to talk about or shoot videos on, and just like everything in life, there's not everything is going to go according to plan. So you have to be willing to adjust. You have to be willing to make audibles on the fly. As you guys saw, some of the live streams, one was at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night on the Pacific Coast time. I was making everything at 11 a.m., but then I had to change that one up because in order to do that live stream, it had to be in the evening. It couldn't be before work because we were drinking alcohol. But so these are some of the changes that I was managing with, and it was, again, it was fun. It was a really good learning process. It really challenged me mentally to stay focused with the goal that I had in mind. And I appreciate you guys all being there. One of the biggest challenges in the terms of that, and again, feel free to ask questions in the chat. I will be answering those as we go along too, if we have time. But good morning, Mindy's mom. Glad you're here. But yeah, one of the biggest challenges during all this was obviously the 24-hour live stream. It was a challenge in many ways, but the biggest challenge for me was that I knew that I was going to start this live stream at 8 o'clock, and then I knew that 8 o'clock the next day it would finish, but I had to post another video at 11 o'clock. So I really didn't have much of an idea, and then I knew I wasn't going to have any sleep or time to do that or edit it. So I thought about preparing it ahead of time. However, I didn't really get around to it because I was so busy preparing for the 24-hour live stream that I didn't. And it was really good that Tycho had already helped create that video of her, which, so even though the 24-hour live stream like took a ton of energy, took the entire day, literally, making sure that we got to that next video, because I think we went 18 or 20, maybe it's 21 days straight before we missed one. Mm-hmm. And so I'm pretty proud of that. I know it was really close. It was only 11 days or 10 days shy of the end of the month. And then we still ended up missing like 2 or 3 days total for the whole month. But again, it was good. I learned a lot through the process of it. I learned how to simplify some of the editing, not to go too in depth. And every time I watch a video back as I've edited it, not to go too over the top with the special effects, the visual effects, because at the end of the day, it adds a little bit to the style, but I rarely ever get a comment about, oh, that edit was so great, or that little special effect was really interesting. It's usually about the content. And so that's really, really helpful for me to learn that the content is the driving force of what you guys are watching. And, the editing is a little cherry on top, but the content is really what we try to focus on. And you guys have heard me talk about that before, the content of like what we're trying to create with this channel. We're trying to inspire and entertain all at the same time. So that's some of the things that I learned. And obviously, like some accomplishments, you guys know the 24-hour challenge. That was a huge accomplishment, not only for the month or for the vlog, but like mentally for me in my entire life, for me to mentally stick to a challenge that honestly, after about 19 hours, I was ready to like quit. It really forced me to stay mentally strong. And then you guys supporting through the chats and watching live for some of you for like 24 hours. That kind of kept me motivated, even though it was probably one of the hardest, I won't say physically, but like physically fatiguing challenges. So that was really a really good feeling of accomplishment for me. And I'm glad I got to share it. I'm sad that right now it doesn't seem like YouTube's gonna be able to upload that. As I've had many conversations back and forth over the last 2 weeks, it seems like that video is not going to be uploaded, which also taught me a lesson. If you're gonna do a 24-hour challenge, make sure you have another camera that's wired, that's recording as well, so then you can upload that version, or multiple cameras, because YouTube will only take 12-hour blocks of video when it's a live stream. So that was a bit discerning, but nonetheless, we all know it happened. In my mind, if Guinness does want to verify it, and we have to go through the process of verifying witnesses and stuff, that's good. If I have to do it again, maybe I'll do it 36 hours. I don't know. Maybe I'll just make it even crazier. And then we'll be able to get like the media and the news coverage and everything there a little bit better the next time. But we did it, and that was definitely a big accomplishment. For the channel, I think it's really exciting that through a lot of this, some of you guys that have been following for a while, you guys became Patreons. We got 2 new Patreons this month, which is really exciting because, as you know, Patreons are a nice way to help the creator fund the channel and the ideas that the creator has for creating videos. And so that was a really nice surprise, especially because our Patreon had been dipping over the last several months, and we were even considering just getting rid of it, just because as far as maintaining it and what it's really providing is a little more challenging than what we feel we're actually able to give back to you guys as far as being Patreons. But we're gonna hold on for a little while longer, and we're gonna see, as we're starting to make a transition to the new style of videos that we want to make in the channel, what if we can continue to grow there as well. If not, then no big deal. It's still been really good, and we really are excited that we have like 15 of you guys, I think 15 or 16 of you guys as Patreons, as official troopers. So that's really cool. Also, as you know, we ended up buying a car, which was a huge accomplishment for us. This was something that we had been trying to figure out for a long time. As the pandemic began, we were borrowing a car, we were borrowing a trailer, we were staying at my dad's house. Then we were trying to figure out what we're gonna do for work. Tycho can't work in the United States, so what we're gonna do for a two-person household. Then how are we gonna get Fei here? All the money that we had saved up in Japan over the years, we had it tied up in different places, and so it wasn't really as accessible as you might have thought. And also, we're looking at trying to figure out how to become independent as a couple and as a family when we don't have our dog here and we don't have a means of transportation, nor do we have a place that we can call our home. So again, like a lot of these things that are typical fixtures in most people's households or lives were things that we didn't have because we've been on the road for so long. And so when we finally started looking, we finally started trying to decide to buy that car. We had to put a lot of thought into it because obviously we didn't have the cash right there to put down for it, but we knew we wanted something that would have value, and that if we go on tour, that it can sit for a little while, or we can actually make money off of it. There's a company called Turo that does like Airbnbs for cars, and so we would be able to rent our car out because it has a high value and people pay lots of money to rent those kind of cars. So we looked at it in terms of it being a somewhat of an investment, and that's how we kind of came across the idea. And then, as you saw in the video, Fei chose the car, right? There was a few options we were actually looking at, but everything we wanted was electric. And at the end of the day, again, like looking at all the reasons that we wanted to get a car, that was the smartest choice, I think, for our future. It wasn't just because it's flashy and cool and pretty and it has all the cool technology. Those definitely were helpful selling points, but in the end, it was really about having something that's going to give us a little bit of value if and when we go back to performing, if we go on the road, if we end up getting a resident show in Vegas, or if we're in the United States touring. Like, these are things that we're going to need to have prepared for, right? So that's kind of the reason for buying the Tesla. And I know it probably came as a shock for you guys. Like, these people don't have a house, they just got their dog there, and they're buying a really expensive car. But as it worked out, again, like we got a really good deal on it as well, because it was a used Tesla. It had low mileage, and it had all the safety features that we needed. So so that was a real big accomplishment. We were really excited. You can see in Tycho's face how excited she was about it. And on that topic, we're also planning to make some more videos about the Tesla as well, so we can like open up the channel to more of an audience that might be interested in Tesla. But as you know, I'm gonna make all the videos in the same personality and style that the videos I've made before. And I made tutorial videos, I've made product review videos, and even stuff about TikTok. And I know a lot of you guys aren't on those or into those kind of videos. But those are like different avenues and little baits that I'm trying to get to, again, grow the channel. And I think, I really think that that's going to be helpful for us growing as well, you know? So those are the things that are, yeah, those are the things that we need to make sure that we are keeping as a standard for the channel as we start to move into like what's going to happen further. So if you guys start to see some Tesla videos or stuff that looks like it's in the thumbnail, it's about a car or something like that, just know that there will definitely, we'll try and keep some trapeze stuff. We'll try and keep some lifestyle stuff. We'll try and make it more vlog styled rather than a to B documentary style infomercial. I don't really like that style, but I've made them a few times, and it's harder to do for sure. So so yeah, so bear with us when that happens. That's going to be a part of the channel for a little bit. Anything you want to say? Yeah, I've been talking a lot. I want to give you a chance to say anything.
I'm fine.
You're fine? Okay. Tygo, you want to say anything up there? So yeah, we're live streaming right now with you guys, and then we have the big screen playing for everybody that's watching this.
I told myself, hi, how are you? I'm good.
So Pheng says only the wealthy in New Zealand can afford Teslas. Pheng, why do you think that is? Is it because the car's priced so high? Is it because it costs so much to import there because they don't have a factory to distribute them? Or is it because there just isn't a lot of electric stations set up? I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into why the price of that kind of car would be expensive there. And it makes sense until it's widely or distributed around the country, or there's more infrastructure for it, like the charging stations, then and actually it's going to be a little bit more pricey. He said he prefers Japanese cars.
Japanese.
He likes Japanese cars. Yeah. So so yeah, that's and then like I said, as we're trying to transition the video from just doing vlogs, and as you know, as we're not in Japan anymore, we still want to put we want to cover some topics that do share the Japanese culture, which was like introducing the natto video to our friends here and the Japanese alcohol videos here. But we want to keep Japanese culture as a part of the channel. But like I said, moving kind of into other lifestyle stuff that might be more familiar because it is more typical American life. And a lot of that will also include how Taiko reacts to it and how Taiko interacts with American life as she gets more comfortable living here. And if we settle down a little bit more here in Santa Barbara and Ventura, or if we can catch a job that will take us somewhere else around the country or around another country, you know, those are things that will also be in play as far as videos that we want to keep with. But at least in the short term, centering the idea around the trapeze school that we are working at now, and the car, as well as Fei. You know, we want to keep it family as well. But again, like we're trying to try something different, because as what we've been doing over the last year and a half, probably like 16 months, the channel has really died off in terms of growth. So we need to try something different, and we hope you guys will continue to support us with some of the ideas that we have. And we always like your feedback. I know I've gotten direct DMs from you guys sometimes saying like, this was a bad idea, this one was a little too risque, this one didn't really fit your niche, this one you're trying a little too hard, this one had a good topic, let's expand on that. So those are things that are really helpful, especially with you guys. But the other side of it is we also want to branch out a little bit and try some things that we haven't tried before to see if we can grasp a little bit more people, that you guys can have more people to chat with in the chats, and we can grow the community where you guys are meeting new people as well. And then when we have a live meetup, one of these days when everything's all cleaned up and cleared up, then we'll get to see some new faces and meet some new names. So that's a big part of what we're hoping to make happen. So on that topic as well, we discussed some ideas for the channel name. We were trying to figure out some different artwork, maybe different logos, different ideas to go with the theme of what we're trying to change the channel to. And one of them was Catching Life. I think that was a really clever name. We've talked to a few people about that idea and they seem to like it as well. Or Flying Through Life. They have kind of a catchy, fun feel to them that doesn't necessarily mean circus, but it connects circus with actual daily life. And then also some of the other things that we're going to be talking about, like the family, like the Japanese culture, and like the Tesla. So we want to encompass all of that, but also we wanted something that we could easily tell somebody at a restaurant or at a mall and they would remember it or know how to spell it without having to give a lot of description. Explaining Ryan Schneider vlogs to somebody, it seems a little long and it's a little bit difficult to spell if you aren't familiar with German last names. So, and also that just kind of looks very stuck on me rather than centering around all of us and our family. What's up? Is that chunk? Granola chunk. Yeah. All right. So just like every radio talk show, you definitely hate dead air. So so that's what we're talking about with the channel. We're still open to some suggestions if you have ideas for cool names or something that you think would be clever that incorporates all of those factors of the family life, the vlogs, the lifestyle stuff, but also trapeze, circus, and Tesla, and all the fun ideas that aren't necessarily centered around Ryan Schneider, you know. And it's not necessarily just vlogs either. Vlogs basically just means video log. It doesn't really define exactly what the video has to be about, but I also don't necessarily want. I like the idea when I'm commenting on other videos or in chat rooms, when they see Ryan Schneider vlogs, they see, oh, that guy has a vlog channel. So they immediately understand like that person must be an active YouTuber. So they have a higher chance, a higher percentage of chance to go click on my name and go to the channel, versus if they see something that's very vague, they might not necessarily know that that's a YouTuber. So for example, many of you guys that are in the chat, you guys have unique screen names or handles there. And some of you, I didn't even know you had video. I didn't know you guys made vlogs or videos because your handle didn't really necessarily outline that. So it's definitely something that I want to make a part of the name as well, that might allow people to understand right away that, oh, this person commenting, they have a channel, maybe I'll be interested. And I actually talked to another YouTuber early on. You guys may remember her. Her name is Mrs. Space Cadet. And when I had just started, she was a real small channel. She's really witty lady. But she was telling me like she started to grow pretty consistently just by commenting on other big YouTubers' videos, because people would see her comments and they were genuine, but they were fun and witty. And they would see that and they like would click on her name from that, and she would start getting subscribers from that. And that's how she kind of started to grow her channel slowly. And I thought that was a really clever idea, because if you're interacting with other creators and you have a name that people are interested in, they might check to see that you have a YouTube channel. So that's another like element of what I want to find to make sure that I include in the channel name as well as the theme. So so that's kind of one of the steps that we're looking for. And again, like any any feedback or suggestions you guys have is really, really appreciated. You done? You're bailing? Tycho bails? Where are you going, Tycho? All right, well, Tycho's going to take a break. I apologize. I know she was giving you guys a lot of stuff to talk about, but yeah, Space Cadet is a great pinball game. I remember that, actually, the Space Cadet. But another thing with Miss Space Cadet, I'll tell you just real quick. She had her channel sitting at like 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers for a really, really long time, and when she started creating a TikTok account, she stumbled upon like making a few videos over her running, and she was like beginning to train for a marathon. And she's not the typical person that you would expect to run a marathon, but she was very determined, very witty, and very ambitious towards that goal. So she started making videos about that, and she started to get quite a following on TikTok that was following this goal of hers. And naturally, with her style, she grabbed a lot of attention, and there was a point where it just transitioned from TikTok to YouTube, and she started making all her YouTube videos about the running and her build up and trials of running. So again, I think it's really important that the content that you create on all the platforms has some kind of synchronicity, but also there's connectivity between your screen name and your theme from one platform to the other. So that's another thing, that if we change the YouTube channel, finding a way to connect that with the Instagram and Facebook, as well as the TikTok, that's something that might need a complete overhaul. And that's something that I will have to consider as well, because I want to make sure that it's the entire infrastructure and ecosystem of the brand is covered all over all of the platforms. So even if you guys don't watch TikTok, somebody who watches me on YouTube or wants to go find me on TikTok can find it real easily through that name. So Life in the Air, that's a really good idea too. Finn, I wrote that one down also. That's a really clever name. Life in the Air. Or Life is Up in the Air. That's really interesting. So Danny, you sent suggestions on Twitter. You know, I will admit I have been really, really bad on Twitter. I haven't checked Twitter or really done much with Twitter. I did for quite a bit at one point. And that was because one of my friends who has a couple million subscribers on YouTube, he uses Twitter for most everything, and he shouted out my channel when I was first starting. So I became a little bit more active on there for a while, but I found it just was a more difficult platform to stay engaged. So, and on top of that, with all the other platforms that I'm running, not just mine, but for other companies, it's just become so difficult. And I don't know how the kids these days can keep up with all the Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Reddit. There's so many different platforms and so many different medias that it's just impossible to keep up with unless that's your full-time 10-hour-a-day job. So, and even my Twitter has a different handle that's not consistent with the Ryan S. Acrobat that I have on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So maybe Ryan S. Acrobat would be a good name for the YouTube, because it connects the other ones as well. But I don't know. Again, like that's where we're trying to figure out what's the best situation. Like, what is the best way to connect everything. I really like what Drew has done with his channel. He's connected everything very easily with the simple name and simple brand and logoing and everything. But yeah, mine's a little bit scattered, and I think if we simplify it all together, that will make a huge impact on how it can grow from the different platforms cross viewing. Welcome, Cobrat. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here, even though you're working. We are actually kind of getting towards the end of the topics that I have. So I'm curious if you guys have any feedback or questions that you have about these last 30 days of the vlog or the videos, or what's coming up in the future. I'm happy to answer some of those things. But I just wanted to also discuss like physically and mentally. I think I might have touched on this a little bit at the beginning of the live stream, but yeah, this is like a big factor in why I decided to make it only 30 days right away instead of doing a year daily vlogs. I wanted to test it out to see how it was going to be with me physically and mentally, but also like what trials, like what obstacles would slow me down or what would motivate me even more. And so the mentally, I think I mentioned it already before, is when you're constantly having a deadline in the morning and you give yourself an exact time, you are sacrificing a lot of sleep. You're sacrificing a lot of your physical energy because mentally you have to sit there and fight through the tiredness of wanting to sleep just to create what you think is going to be something substantial that you can put online for people to see. And the way that I was editing, I was getting kind of tired just sitting in front of the computer for hours at end, and it was 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. But I knew I had to get it out. So mentally, it made me push through those obstacles. But it's definitely something that is more challenging than I would like to do again. We'll see how it goes, but that was the hardest mental part of it, was sitting through there watching the screen as I'm editing all night long, just to oh god, I'm not frozen. It's I have a hard time finding the words. Just to provide that content in the morning, and if I had an extra day to do it, I think that would allow me a little bit more of the mental fatigue to not set in and really wear me down. So mentally, that was a big charge. Physically, I guess that kind of goes hand in hand as well. Mentally, I like coming up with the ideas and making sure that I was outlining the story or the video in a way that people would actually watch through it. I noticed the audience retention times started to fall off really quickly in some of the videos, and that shows me that I didn't have a very good through line of the video, or the content just wasn't substantial enough. So that also was a thing that I learned, but it also was a mental challenge to figure out, while I'm doing this, how to analyze that, create something better the next day, and then still have time to live the normal daily life. So that's the mental and the physical part of it. I didn't find myself physically tired at work too often. I think a big part of helping me get through that month was eating a good breakfast and then having like acai. The acai was really good for keeping my energy throughout the day. And big shout out to acai because I eat it a lot in Japan whenever I had like 3 show days, and I just liked it as a morning snack. But it really is helpful for not eating something too heavy, but giving you some kind of sustenance and energy for sustain throughout the day. So physically at work, I was really good. I never really got tired during work. Occasionally I would get tired on the drive home because there's a 35-minute drive each way. And the drive is pretty monotonous. I mean, after you see the ocean to your side and the beach, it's beautiful, but it's the same thing every day, twice a day. So that can get a little bit fatiguing as well. The world is like a roller coaster. New vlog name. Oh, that's cute. It's because you're so handsome, my brother. Oops. I get talking to each other.
Handsome bro.
You want to join back?
Handsome, sexy
guy. So yeah, that kind of brings us to our last topic of what's next for the channel and what's next. I kind of asked. I think we're started to answer some of that as well already with like, what do we want to see? What do we want to start creating? I think we have a pretty decent idea, but it's like, again, wrapping everything around the theme, wrapping everything around the same brand so that it becomes a little more consistent. And I'm noticing this a lot because I'm actually working with the Santa Barbara trapeze company right now, and I'm dealing a lot with the branding of the company. have been discussing with a graphic designer and a brand strategist of how to create something as well. Like right now, this company is still pretty new and young, and they want to try something a little bit different going forward with the branding and logos and stuff like that. So it's really given me a chance to talk with some really experienced professionals in those fields and give me some outlook on how I can kind of create that for my brand and the channel and for us. So so yeah, that's where we're looking to go. And yeah, I guess I ran out of stuff to talk about, but that's it in a nutshell. And if you guys have anything you guys want to add into it, or any questions that you think are pertinent to these topics, I'd be happy to answer them. And Taiko's here as well. She can answer any questions you might have for her before we sign off from this live stream. It's only been 40 minutes, but you have a question? No? Okay. You like trying, so Pheng, I know Pheng, you always leave comments about wanting to see food reviews. So we've started to do a bit of those, but we haven't been getting a lot of feedback from those food reviews. So maybe we need to make that a little more consistent before we decide that that's not something that the channel likes. But you know, we obviously like eating, so it just becomes difficult because in California, dining out is a lot more expensive than it is in Japan, and so making that as a investment to make a video is not a bad idea. It's just something that we can't do as frequently as we'd like. So Taiko and Ryan eat meat. Food review. We like food reviews. Okay. Cobra, go ahead. You can post any links, all you want. Yeah, the links are going to stay the same. But go for it. Thank you. So yeah, we constantly are getting these comments about doing food reviews, and I'm gonna write that down again because every time we get notes on this, we do it, but we haven't been consistent.
Ramen next time.
Ramen?
Ramen, I wanna eat ramen.
We want ramen. Okay, so ramen
in US.
in US. I know Cobra told us about a good ramen place in LA, so we'll definitely have to do that when we're in LA. But the other thing with food reviews, I think I mentioned before, is it's a little bit invasive for some of the other guests that are at the restaurant when you're there. And a lot of times these restaurants in America have royalty music playing. So they're playing like pop music or copyrighted music that I don't have like the audio processing equipment to remove that. So we do have to find a restaurant or a place at the restaurant where we're outside or at a time when they let us actually turn the music off so that we can make the video. But those are some of the challenges, again, that come with it here in America. Is the Tesla fun to drive? You want to answer that one?
Yes.
That's your answer?
I mean, I never drive.
Is it fun to ride?
Yeah.
All right, Pheng, there's your answer. Taiko doesn't want to go into any more depth. Octopus or squid? Ika or taco?
Ika.
Ika.
Tempura.
Tempura. Oh, yeah. I like taco, but like Mexican tacos.
Or takoyaki. Takoyaki, octopus, but squid, tempura.
Okay. All right. Is your school open on a daily basis? So the trapeze school is open from Thursday to Sunday, and we do have classes at 10 a.m. and then we have a class at 6 p.m. So we have classes all throughout the day. Usually 4 classes a day are scheduled, and depending on how many people we have signed up, it will determine how many classes we actually work. But we also do our staff training. We do our own staff flying. As you know, Taiko and I are still training as well. So we'll do, so we'll do our hair and teeth hang stuff. Sometimes we do it there, sometimes we do it here. But that's where we, that's what's happened at the school. We're actually starting, probably in the next couple weeks, we're gonna start some workshops where we'll have the same students come by every week on the same day, so that it gives it a little bit more consistency for the students and the instructors. Cooking videos, probably not for me. you guys are interested in cooking videos, I could probably video Taiko cooking sometimes, but I don't cook very much myself. She is a good cook, but we might try out a cooking video, huh? What do you think about that? Let's put that down. Cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking with Taiko. It's funny, like one of my first videos I made was about 7 years ago. It was in Las Vegas, and it was called Shirtless Cooking with Ryan. Have any of you guys seen that video? It was ridiculous. It was such a stupid idea, but it had a funny concept. But I don't cook, so I didn't have enough ideas to make more than one episode.
Yeah, we don't have good idea.
Shirtless cooking? Yeah, you want to cook shirtless? Shirtless, like no shirt.
No.
You don't want to wear a shirt?
I will.
You want to wear a shirt? Okay.
Bikini cook.
Do you miss the difference between Japan sushi and California sushi?
I know California.
Do you miss like Japanese sushi more, or are you happy with California sushi?
I miss Japanese sushi.
Yeah. Why? What is the difference?
More. I don't know. I like simple, no sauce, and I just wanna eat. And what I like is salmon and salmon grill and tuna. Chutoro. And here we can get, but so expensive and small.
Yeah. But everything here is basically the sushi rolls, right? Most of the places have sushi rolls, unless you get to like the higher end sushi places.
Sometimes okay sushi roll because I like to eat. Here. But of course I wanna like, for example, Japan, 100 yen. We can eat a lot, right?
Yeah.
And this one, I like it. Like I don't need to worry about price and just eat it, just eat it.
That's one of the great things about, even though that sushi isn't very like delicious, it's good enough.
Not high quality, but
it's $1.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad, and it's $1, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
What about if we made sushi for a video?
Cool.
You want to make sushi?
Yeah.
So we have to go back to LA.
Poke is I like.
You want to make poke?
Poke too, yeah.
So that might be a good idea. I'll write that down as well. Making sushi. It's okay. Making sushi is one of the ideas that we have here.
I wanted to make sushi.
You want to make sushi?
Yeah, that was I said that to Effie. And I was like, let's do it because there's a good fish market.
Where's the fish market?
Where?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Really? Want to?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's awesome.
So in a amazing change of events. You crazy. You're so crazy. Come on. Why are you bouncing around over here, you knucklehead? All right. So it sounds like that's what we might do today. We have a lot of stuff to do at the trapeze school, and then
I already make pizza. Everybody tell me. In Insta live.
Yeah.
That's my first time live.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next, good idea. Japanese food.
Japanese sushi. Okay, so we'll go get some sushi today. If you tell people that you're gonna put natto, it's not much of a prank. So we usually go to Mitsuwa in LA. I don't know any other ones really actually in any other Japanese markets that are in LA. But when we go to LA, that's where we typically go. I was going there a lot when I lived in LA also many years ago. So and there's a Mitsuwa also in Dallas. There's a bunch of them around. So we know that one very well. Hey Holly, good to see you. Welcome. Big hugs. So that's good. Yeah, we let's do some sushi. Maybe get some salmon and tuna and make some poke too. I don't know. Maybe we'll make a video tonight. We'll see if we can get there and get all the food. And we don't have dinner plans yet, do we?
What is the dinner plan?
Plans for dinner?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, there we go. Maybe tonight I'll be able to make a video on us making sushi. What do you think about that? Uh-huh.
Over, the shiso.
Nori?
No, shiso is
Shiso?
the
Yeah, the leaf.
leaf.
Uh-huh.
Have to.
We have to get that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's American
Write a list, baby.
grocery have
No, she said, we can see. I'm sure there's a Japanese market in Santa Barbara, maybe
only Asian market.
Asian market. Okay,
But I don't see.
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right, so so I think that we're gonna conclude on that. I appreciate you guys for being here, and shirtless sushi. Hey, I like that. We could do shirtless sushi. Shirtless. Remember less? Remember less? If you put that on the end of a word, means without. Yeah. So shirtless.
Okay, no shorts.
No shirt.
So titty out. Titty party.
Titty party. Okay. Taiko's gonna be wearing pasties, and I'm gonna wear no shirt. We're gonna make some.
I put the
Shiso. Shiso stickers.
And you put wasabi.
No. No wasabi nipples. No wasabi nipples.
Yeah, right?
No, mom. No way. No way. All right. So shirtless sushi with Taiko and shirtless sushi with the Schneiders.
Ooh.
Hey, all right. That'll be the new trend.
The head put the sushi.
Oh, well, we gotta shave her.
No,
She doesn't make it.
she's cute.
All right, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you're being awesome. Live your best life. Anything you want to say, baby?
またね。また食べたい。寿司食べたい。
シャツなしのsushi.
シャツなし寿司。お
シャツなしのsushi.
So naked sushi.
Hadaka. Yeah, I don't think that's very sanitary.
grotesque. I see somebody the body put sushi. I saw some. I don't know who, but somebody naked like a plate, body in the plate.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Right?
Yeah, I've seen that, but not live. I've seen
Yeah,
photos.
Nama sushi.
All right. Well, we're gonna head out. We got a lot of stuff to do. We'll see you guys soon, and stay tuned for some shirtless sushi with the Schneiders.
Nama sushi.
Nama sushi.
Live sushi.
Hadaka sushi. All right. Take care, guys.